All right, guys, this is Emmett again, the Alpha Builder. You guys get a second, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are going to come back and watch the channel. I don't want you guys to, so that, it may help the algorithm out, especially if you're watching the channel. But guys, I want to talk about building inspectors and re-inspect fees. But in order for me to discuss building inspections and re-inspect fees, I have to first explain to you about how the local building inspection services is created. And I know, guys, this is going to get into a bit of a rabbit hole, but if you understand this right here, you understand why things work the way they work. All right, so the first thing happens, guys, once a municipality is incorporated, they adopt the building code. Once they adopt that building code, they then at that point, and most building code is going to be the International Residential Code, for residential, International Building Code for commercial items. And in the first chapter of both of those codes, you're going to have the way that municipality is going to assign who the building official is going to be. So they typically assign a building official. Once they assign that building official sets up his building department. Once the building department is set up, he actually goes out and hires inspectors to go out and inspect to make sure that everything in that municipality is built according to the code that municipality has adopted. Now, the building code itself, guys, if you look at the International Residential Code or the International Building Code, whatever code cycle you're on, and they go every 3 years. They update that cycle every 3 years. But guys, once they pick that code book that they're going to use, the code book is actually just a big safety manual. That's all. It's there to help you stay safe when you walk into a structure in that municipality, or first responders when they come in. If there's a fire or something like that, and if it's built according to the code, that building doesn't collapse under the fire or any kind of extreme situations like that, weather and things like that. So that's the whole purpose of the building code, to make the structures that's built in that municipality safe. That is it. So once the building official comes on board, he sets up his inspections with his inspectors, and he sends his inspectors out. Now, one thing that building official has to do is make sure that his inspectors understand the code. Guys, if you're in most of these municipalities, especially in the Birmingham area, and I'm not saying all of them, guys, because there's some of the municipalities, man, and I know I know most of the building officials, and they actually hire really good, savvy inspectors that actually go weekly and study the code. They study that code. They make sure that they understand the code. And yeah, each year, man, they always have seminars where they learn different things about the code. But guys, a lot of cases in some of these municipalities, some of these inspectors, not all, guys, so don't put this on me and say, well, you're talking about all. No, well, let me just say most of the inspectors, they're not savvy in that code book. They're not staying inside of that code book and understanding the code. Now, sometimes there are gray areas when you get to the code, probably 5%, maybe 10% of the code. You may run into a gray area, which everything goes back to that building official, and what that building official is going to look at in that particular case. He's going to look at the intent of the code. What is that code trying to do? And in most cases, it's trying to keep that item safe. And so if it's keeping it safe and it doesn't necessarily go verbatim, or whatever the issue is, doesn't go actually verbatim with that code, as long as it exceeds that code, you're good. Now, some of these inspectors, man, they don't stay. Some of these inspectors, especially in the Birmingham area, and I'm not talking about Birmingham per se, guys, but I'm saying in the Birmingham area, these guys they just got a job. They got a job. They just go to work every day, get my paycheck, and we're good. They're not constantly getting in that code book and studying that code book and understanding that code book, which makes it very hard on builders who are very savvy in the code book, which is why I say that if you're a savvy builder and you stay in that code book and that inspector comes out and inspects something and they're wrong, they're not consistent with that code book, you got to challenge them, guys. You got to challenge them. And you got to challenge them. You got to, hey, and then you can take that thing all the way up to the building official. Now, let me just say one more thing about that building official job, guys. The building official in most cases is appointed by the mayor or whoever in that local municipality. So that building official is a very, very political job, very political. So if that building official mess around, and in some cases, you have certain builders in that local municipality that probably build 70 to 80% of the houses in that area. They give a lot of money to the mayor campaign. They're very good friends with mayors and political figures in that local municipality. That can make, even if you're doing your job and you holding everybody accountable, especially when it comes down to those guys who's doing that, those builders who are doing that, you can actually lose your job and you can actually be doing a good thing, or you can actually be doing your job. So it's a very political. And guys, don't think you have job security. There's no such thing as job security. I don't give a doggone if you are tenure or whatever. But guys, let's get back to this code. So a lot of these guys, man, they may not be studying this code, and what they're doing is they're actually, in a lot of cases, they're actually just going on. When they bring new inspectors in, those new inspectors are simply, instead of them getting into the code, they listen to what the older inspectors are saying, and they simply just do what the older guys are saying without looking at the code themselves. That becomes a problem because they don't really know the code. They just know what they've been told, and they don't know that they may be wrong. Which is why, guys, when I was the building official, I told my inspectors, I don't have a problem with it anytime you fail someone on an inspection, but you need to be able to show it to me in the code book. You got to be able to show me that in the code book, guys. And and so this creates something else, guys. This kind of come back here, Bear. Come back. Bears again. But in a lot of cases, man, what ends up happening is a lot of the builders, now I'm going to get on the builders now. A lot of the builders, instead of them getting in the code book and understanding the code, and most of the time this is not the builders, because most of the time the builders just simply hire the subcontractors, and then the subcontractors are using the code officials as their measurement of whether or not they're doing everything right. So they call for an inspection, and they only fix the things that the inspector found wrong. Now you see the rabbit hole that we're getting into, guys. If you guys caught that, a lot of the guys, they framers. Let's just say, for instance, the builder hires a framer. The builder don't really know the code. He doesn't understand how to frame. So what he does is he hires a framer, who that's what he does. The framer is going to say, hey, just call in for an inspection. Well, the builder don't understand frame. He's just going to call in for an inspection, and they're only going to fix what that inspector found. Well, what if you have an inspector that's not in the code book? He's not going to catch a lot of the things in that structure that's wrong. He's not going to catch it. So now the only thing you're going to correct is what the building inspector, but you can't expect the building inspector to catch it all. There's also a part in most municipalities, they're going to have a clause inside of their municipality that says, hey, just because we missed it, don't mean you don't have to do it. So if they miss something on the front end, on the framing, and then you get to your final inspection and the building inspector caught it on the framing, you got to fix it. No matter how much stuff you got to tear out, you're going to have to fix it at that point. This is why a lot of these local municipalities, because a lot of the builders are using the inspectors as their Q&A, quality assurance. That's what they're doing. Instead of the builder actually being his own quality assurance and learning about building and making sure that the structure is built right and not expecting the inspectors to catch everything, Well, now these local inspection services are creating what you call a re-inspect fee because they don't want to come out here and do the work. That's your builder. That's the builder's job. And so this is what's going on, guys. And a lot of these local municipalities, and here's the thing, guys. So most building departments, the way it's supposed to be set up is that you charge for your permit fee. The cost of your permit fees should be at a certain point to where it should be able to sustain the payment or the payroll for the building department. That's how it really should be. And most of these municipalities are not doing it that way. They're just pulling the money from the city's fund, and they've created it like that. But the inspection services department should be able to exist on its own if you charge the correct amount for the permit fees. And that determines how many guys you're gonna hire, etc. So if my inspectors have to keep going out because this builder don't understand how to build, and he's not checking everything, so they have to go out to 4 or 5 re-inspect fees, and Lord forbid if you get a different inspector each time and he finds something different and they hadn't been keeping up with notes. Now you're going to be in a never-ending circle. So what happens is the building inspection services say, well, hey, man, we're not going to keep coming out here. You're not going to use us to be the builders or use us to be the quality assurance for your incompetence when it comes to building. So what do? They incorporate a re-inspect fee to pay for the time that inspector got to come out there and deal with that. So this is what happens, guys. So just to kind of sum this thing up, guys, well, just kind of tell you what I think that everybody should be doing. Number one, the inspection service department and the inspectors quit listening to what the old schools are telling you about what you should learn about your job. You guys have got to get inside of that code book for yourself. And when there's questions on the interpretation of that code, you guys have got to start going to your local the inspectors need to go to the building officials and say, hey, how do we deal with this right here so that you have a better understanding if you are an inspector? Builders, quit expecting. Quit just calling in inspections. And because I'm guilty of it too, guys. When I first got started, I would just, my framer would say, hey man, just call in for an inspection, and what they find wrong, we just fix it. Well, if I don't know anything about building, I don't really know what's wrong. So I just got to take his word. And some of these guys, especially these framers of today, guys, their only thought process is speed. They just want to frame this thing up as quickly as possible so that they can get to the next job and get paid. That's their game. But you as the builder, man, you have got to get in that code book. You have got to. One thing I would really learn, guys, one thing that I would really focus on is foundation. You better have that figured out. For the most part, better than your subcontractors. I would focus on framing. You better have that figured out. Especially spans and loads and things like that. You better have that figured out, man. You better understand how that framing go, man. Inside out, upside down. Take courses on it. Get it together. Better than anybody else. I would focus on that. Let me see, is there another one that I would probably focus on? I would focus on indoor air quality and sealing. How you seal, because things have changed, guys. You got to seal houses up really tight and then cut a hole in it. So I would focus on that, guys. But guys, this is what we need to be doing, man. Don't expect the inspectors to do your job. Builders, inspectors, get in the code book. Learn this game. Master your job. Become the best at your job. Understand this code, residential and commercial. Once again, guys, hopefully you got like this right here. I'm trying to give this information away so that you guys can understand how this thing works in the building world. Guys, like, share, subscribe, and remember, this is the way. Where do you
go.